back. You ready to dive deep into the world of video tutorials?
I am. Let's do it.
All right, cool. So today we're taking how to create video tutorials that make money and really dissecting it. I think there are going to be some really cool takeaways from this.
Yeah, I think people will be surprised by what actually goes into making a successful tutorial.
Definitely. I know I was. So, I mean, online learning is booming, right? Like everyone is trying to learn new skills these days.
It's huge. It's such an exciting time to be involved. You know, more and more people are turning to video tutorials to learn anything and everything.
Totally. It's like the modern day classroom, but, way more fun.
Exactly. And accessible.
Right. So for anyone who's thinking like, hey, I've got some skills I could share, where do they even begin? How do you find that like perfect, profitable niche?
Well, it starts with thinking about what you're good at. What do your friends and family always ask you for help with?
Yeah, like what's that thing you know inside and out?
Exactly. And then you got to look at the market. Is there actually a demand for that knowledge? Are people searching for tutorials on that topic?
So it's like a little bit of introspection and a little bit of market research.
Yeah, exactly. It's finding that sweet spot where your passion and a need in the market, come together.
Gotcha. So let's say you've got a skill. Let's just say, for example, you're really good at, I don't know, like Photoshop.
Okay, good one.
Right. So how do you take that and make it a tutorial that people actually want to watch and maybe even like pay for?
Yeah, that's the key, right? It's not just about sharing your knowledge. It's about making it valuable.
Right.
So I would say, think about what sets you apart. What's your unique perspective, your secret sauce when it comes to Photoshop? Maybe you have a really, really efficient workflow or a specific editing style.
Yeah, like some kind of special trick that nobody else knows.
Yeah. And then you got to structure it well. A good tutorial needs a clear outline. It should take people on a journey from like beginner to, more advanced.
So it's like telling a story almost.
It kind of is, yeah. You want to keep people engaged, give them those aha moments along the way.
Oh, I like that. Aha moments. I'm going to steal that. All right. So we've got our niche. We've got our content. Now, what about the actual production?
Production. This is where people get scared, but honestly, it doesn't have to be scary.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people picture these like super fancy studios with like tons of equipment.
Totally. But the truth is, you don't need all that to get started.
Right.
Our source really emphasized that. What matters most is clear audio and decent lighting.
Yeah, like I'd much rather watch a tutorial that sounds good and I can actually see what's going on than something with like crazy graphics, but I can't even hear the person talking.
Exactly. You can have the best content in the world, but if the audio is bad or it's too dark, people are going to click away.
So what would you say are the like absolute must-haves for equipment?
Well, a decent microphone is crucial. You don't need a top-of-the-line one, but something that's, better than your computer's built-in mic.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And lighting. Good lighting can make a huge difference. You can even use natural light, set up near a window if you have to.
Now, what about cameras?
Honestly, you can start with your smartphone or, a basic webcam. As you grow, and if you start earning money from your tutorials, you can invest in a better camera.
Makes sense. So it's really about, like, focusing on the content first and foremost, and then upgrading your gear as you go.
Yep. Don't get bogged down in the tech stuff. Just start creating.
Love that. You know what else I love from the source? They really stress the importance of authenticity.
Oh, absolutely. People can tell when you're passionate about something.
Right. Like you're not just reading from a script. You're genuinely excited to be sharing your knowledge.
Yeah, and that excitement is contagious. It makes the tutorial more engaging, more fun to watch.
So how can people, inject their personality into their tutorials?
Well, first of all, don't be afraid to be yourself. Let your quirks shine through. If you're a naturally funny person, crack a few jokes. If you're more serious, that's fine too. Just be genuine.
Right, so it's like find your style and own it.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to, share stories or anecdotes that relate to the tutorial. It helps people connect with you on a personal level.
Okay, so we've got amazing content. We're looking good, sounding good. Now, how do we get people to actually watch our tutorials?
Marketing. This is where it gets interesting.
Right, like we've built this amazing thing, but nobody knows it exists.
Right. So you got to think about where you're going to share your tutorials. YouTube is obviously a huge platform.
Yeah, that's the first place that comes to mind.
For sure. But there are also platforms specifically for online courses like Skillshare, Udemy, things like that.
So it's like choosing the right platform for your audience.
Exactly. And then you got to optimize your titles and descriptions, make sure they're searchable. People need to be able to find your tutorials.
Right, like think about what people would actually type into the search bar.
Exactly. And your thumbnails, they need to be eye-catching, really draw people in.
It's like a digital version of Curb Appeal.
Totally.
Yeah.
You want people to be like, oh, I got to click on that.
Okay, so we've got people clicking, they're watching our tutorials. Now, how do we turn those views into, actual money?
All right, monetization time. There are a few different ways to go about this.
Let's hear them.
So, one option is advertising revenue. Platforms like YouTube, they allow you to run ads on your videos, and you earn a portion of the revenue.
Oh, like those pre-roll ads you see sometimes.
Yep, exactly. It can be a good way to start earning some passive income.
Okay, what else?
Another popular option is selling courses. You can bundle your tutorials together into a comprehensive course and sell it on, platforms like Udemy or even your own website.
So it's like packaging your knowledge into a neat little bundle.
Yeah, exactly. And people are willing to pay for that, especially if it's high quality and solves a specific problem for them.
Makes sense. Any other ways to monetize?
You could also consider memberships. This is where you offer exclusive content like maybe bonus tutorials or live Q&A sessions to paying members.
Oh, that's cool. Like a VIP club for your superfans.
Exactly. It's a great way to build a community and create recurring income.
Oh, and I remember the source also mentioned something called a lead magnet.
Ah, yes. Lead magnets are awesome. They're basically a freebie, like a mini course or a cheat sheet that you offer in exchange for someone's email address.
So you're giving away something valuable for free, but you're also building your email list.
Exactly. And then you can use that email list to, promote your paid courses or other products.
So it's like a win-win.
Yeah.
You get more leads and people get some awesome free content.
Precisely.
Okay, before we wrap up, I want to touch on some of the beyond the basics tips from the source, like storytelling and visuals.
Yeah.
I feel like those can really elevate a tutorial.
Absolutely. They can make it so much more engaging and memorable.
So, how can people incorporate storytelling into their tutorials?
Well, instead of just listing facts and figures, try weaving in anecdotes or real-world examples. It helps people relate to the information on a deeper level.
Yeah, like make it personal, make it human.
Exactly. And visuals, they're super important too. They can help simplify complex ideas and keep people from getting bored.
So, what kind of visuals are we talking about?
Well, screen recordings are great for showing people exactly what you're doing. You can also use animations, diagrams, even simple text overlays. Just anything to break up the monotony of a talking head video.
It's like adding some spice to the mix.
Exact.
And let's not forget about interacting with viewers.
Oh, that's crucial. Respond to comments, ask questions, encourage people to share their thoughts and experiences.
It's like building a community around your tutorial.
Oh, totally. And that can lead to more engagement, more loyalty, and ultimately more success.
Awesome. So to recap, creating profitable video tutorials, it's a journey, right?
Yeah.
You got to find your niche, plan your content, make sure you sound good, look good, be yourself, market your stuff, and figure out how you want to make money.
It's a lot, but it's also incredibly rewarding. You're sharing your knowledge, you're helping people, and you're potentially building a business.
Totally. So for anyone listening who's thinking about creating their own tutorials, what's like one small step they could take today to get started?
That's a good question. I would say just take a few minutes to brainstorm some niche ideas or, research some different platforms. Just take that first step, put it out there in the universe.
I love that. Take action, even if it's just a tiny step.
Exactly. It all starts with that first step.
Awesome advice. Well, thanks for joining me for this deep dive. It's been a blast.
Anytime. Always happy to chat about tutorials.
And for everyone listening, keep learning, keep creating, and most importantly, keep being awesome.
We'll see you in the next